Now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk Hookup. Get ready for more of the best fishing information and the hottest tips on improving your angling skills. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. And by Rancho Leonero, where your wildest Baja dreams come true. And now, Southern California's sports fishing voice, the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, and Corey Sandin.
And welcome back. Hour number 2, Let's Talk Hookup, right here on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. Pete Gray here, along with Rock Cod Rick Maxa. We're in the world headquarters of Let's Talk Hookup here, and from the world headquarters of Norsk Lithium, we have James Holst. Great show, talking lithium batteries here, the finest lithium batteries available, the Norsk Lithium, that have now come to the West Coast here for marine anglers, and we're very, very excited. And what a show! We're learning a ton of stuff and have a lot to go here.
Yeah, you're not kidding, man. And we really want you to join us in the second hour. Let's Talk Hookup. If you want to get us on the phones, as we mentioned before, it's been a crazy busy morning, but we have a full hour coming your way. 213-432-1090. That's the number here to Let's Talk Hookup. Again, 213-432-1090. Or text us the show. Let's Talk Hookup app is the only way to do it. Jump on the app, text your questions in, and make sure you include that contact information so that we can give you the big prize. If you didn't catch the beginning of the show, we're giving away a full-day trip on board the San Diego out of C4 Sport Fishing. Somebody's going to get to go fishing on that fantastic rig, the San Diego, get in and all the awesome fishing that Booger and Brala have been providing all year long. A great opportunity for one lucky caller or texter at the end of the show today. And as promised, it's time for the Catch Report. Today, our FishDope.com report is sponsored by Norsk Lithium Batteries. They are here in Southern California, designed specifically for marine use. Norsk Lithium features prismatic cells for extreme durability, solid connections, longevity, and reliability. The Norsk Guardian Advanced Battery Management System allows you to monitor the health and charging status by using an app on your phone. Norsk also makes a complete line, and this is the part that I really want to talk about in the second hour. Let's not let this get by. Norsk also offers a line of kayak and electric reel batteries. Make an investment in the very best for your boat with Norsk Lithium. Check norsklithium.com for more information and a dealer near you. We're going to start it off with our private boater buddy, Captain Mark Wish of Pacific Edge is on the line. Good morning, Mark.
Hey, good morning, Rick, Pete, James. James, I got to tell you, buddy, this show you've got going on here, you know, over the years we've seen fishing offshore some revolutionary products, gyro binoculars, braided line, 2-speed reels, and so on. But, man, this lithium battery stuff and the battery management stuff for the private boat guys is just game-changing. It's just awesome that so many answers you guys are talking about here for problems that have bugged us for a long time. Great show. Anyway, it's been an interesting week offshore, guys, and going on in multiple zones, actually. So on the outside, early on in the week, man, we had some weather that was just hideous, pretty breezy on top of a huge northwest swell. Made it tough out there on the Tanner for sure. But, we're in that seasonal change period. The North Pacific is waking up, and we'll be seeing more of that northwest weather as winter gets a little closer. You know, times are changing. But it's backed off now, and it's much better weather, and there's quite a bit of biting fish around in several different areas. So starting closer to home, and along with the shorter days, the lower sun angle, the V-shaped formations of all those geese flying south for the winter, another sign of our seasonal change is the fact that a bunch of squid showed up right along the beach there, right off Huntington Beach down in Newport, like that, standard area. And pretty decent amount of bait in there. It's been there for several days now. And so that means it's time to start thinking about local sea bass, local yellows, and some of that bigger halibut that all hangs around that squid. By the way, Nacho does have some squid in the receiver right now, so that's good news. And again, you know, times are changing. So also local, I want to mention that Fish and Wildlife posted yesterday that lobster closure they had in the L.A. Long Beach Harbor zone has been lifted now. They had it closed down there because of the domoic acid, whatever, issues up there.
Yeah, that stuff.
That's always been a hard word to say. But anyway, those lobsters had some issues, and they're supposedly better now. So they have at it. And then at the islands, not too much interest actually this week. You know, the weather was up for Nick and Santa Barbara, kept the pressure off for sure. Catalina, it's just kind of twilight zone. I was talking to a young guy who's one of the deckhands on a sport boat that fishes over there quite a bit, and he said it's just horrible. They've stopped fishing there. Nothing of consequence from Clemente this week, and mostly just because everybody's fishing tuna fish. But just off the island, it's a whole different story. There's lots of bluefin, lots of yellowfin, nice great fish, mostly 20 to 50s like that. Mostly fly line fishing, long drips, light line, small hook, hot bait. There's that standard setup there. And but there's spots of fish all over. The main zone is right off the head right now, and they're fairly close, 6 to 10 miles like that. And some of it's up northeast towards the 289, and actually all the way toward the 209. And then some southeast down the ridge toward the 43 and over toward the corner. That whole sector there has got fish scattered throughout. And you want to check the kelps for sure. That Dorado fishing had kind of backed off. It seems like we got another little surge, man. Some of the guys have some nice scores on the Dorados in that area. And then also be sure you check all the dolphin schools. Most of them are holding. And a lot of that yellowfin is really good grade. Guy got one that was over 80 here this week off the backside of Catalina there. So there's some of that big stuff. And this is the time of year we usually see it. Last couple of years we've seen it, but man, 80-pound local yellowfin, come on, that's a nice one.
That's great.
Yeah, so overall we got, pretty good offshore fishing. We got pretty good weather coming here for the week, and guys, it's time to go fishing.
Yeah, and fishdope.com, all the guys over there have been on top of where to be, what to do, weather-wise, and everything else. $20 off a new membership to fishdope.com using the code HookUpNow. Lowercase, no space. HookUpNow is your $20 code. And Mark, how do we find you?
Well, Pete, we're in Huntington Beach. We're on the corner of both of Chica and Edinger. Phone number, it's the store's area code 714-840-4262. The website, PacificEdgeTackle.com. And I'm going to sit back and listen to the rest of the show here, man. This is fascinating stuff.
Yeah.
It's a great show today.
Mark, you were one of the guys I thought about. Could you imagine just being able to sit back on your skiff, have both pumps running all night, be able to power your big squid light just off of your normal house batteries and not be worrying about a generator running all night long?
Oh, dude, I'm telling you what. It's just, like I said, it's just a game changer. That was what I did for a living for many, many years, trying to help guys solve this issue. And this technology today, it just makes it so much better for the private boat guy. And yeah, it costs a few bucks. I mean, the guys would be whining and crying about it, but, who cares?
You don't have to worry.
Exactly.
You just look at your app and you can tell exactly where you are.
And you know what? It does cost a few bucks, but it costs a few bucks once. You know what I mean? Like it will be cheaper. Like you will replace your lead acid or your gel batteries enough times that they will cost more than your Norsk batteries will, and you'll likely have those for longer than you'll have your engines. It's awesome.
No, just the peace of mind makes whatever cost worth it. Just to be able to sit and know that everything's going to be working. It's just, that's awesome. What a great show. Fantastic.
Fun, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Appreciate a great report, bro, as always, and we'll talk to you next week.
You got it. We'll see you.
All right, let's head on down to Cedros Sport Fishing. Jeff is on the line with some fresh dope from Cedros. What's up, Jeff?
Good morning, gentlemen. Again, what a great topic to have on. Seems to be a big conversation point lately in the industry on batteries, battery usage.
Totally.
Not only on boats, but on RVs. This is a great topic. Glad I'm sitting here listening to this.
Yeah, we're having fun, man, but we'd be having even more fun if we were pulling on a big yellow at Cedros. Is there's still some good fishing going down?
Oh, I just got back on Wednesday, so I was down there Friday through Wednesday, and Cedros keeps producing. I mean, it was a little bit windy. The fish kind of pushed down a little bit. It was, it was a little bit of work. And when I say work, it took about 4 hours to catch a limit. I mean, that's, tough fishing, right? So yo-yo was seeming to be the best form of fishing the first part of the week. The weather laid down just a little bit. I mean, it wasn't bad. We went and found some birds. They were picking on some red crab, and we were throwing surface iron. And lo and behold, we found fish that wanted to bite the surface. So that was, another another fun time, right? We decided that we were just going to go out and troll around a little bit and look around, see what was happening. We found some kelp on the lee side of the island, about 3 miles off the beach, and we pulled up. I threw a surface iron and decided to let it sit there long enough when I was letting it in slowly for the big Dorado to show up, and they attacked us. And we had great Dorado fishing. As long as you could find the kelp patties, it was good. Great calico fishing on the north end of the island up on a flat kelp, and getting in there and just floating through the carpet up there with Corey's MC swim baits and his big 10-inch stuff with the trocar hooks. Unbelievable bass fishing up there. Nice grade of fish, very healthy population. Fortunately, unfortunately, we were attacked by a few big yellows, and it humbled us because
that's always the Cedro surprise while your bass rod's in your hand.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. We all just kind of stood there and looked at each other when we were attacked. So, great fishing. Again, sheephead were very plentiful for those who wanted them. White sea bass were biting. Had a very interesting situation happen. We were fishing and we were yo-yoing in a shallow rock spot, and we caught immediately like 3 25-inch white sea bass. And we were joking and said there must be a small school down there. We leaned over the rail and looked down. There were so many you couldn't see through them.
Wow, no kidding.
Yeah, and it was great, man. I sat back and I smiled, and I told my friend Greg I was fishing with, I said, this makes me so happy to see this kind of quality of fishing that's coming our way with the amount of fish we just saw swim underneath the boat. That I can't wait till next year. Those fish are going to be big enough next year. So,
that's rad.
Well, all sounds like a great trip, Jeff. And if somebody wants to come, are there any spots left this year? And of course, not too early to book next year, right?
That's true. I believe Rosie has 3 more trips for the year, and I think there's one trip that may have a couple spots on it that I highly suggest that you call her and talk to her. Her schedule is up for next year, and it's booking quick. I got to be honest with you. She even made a comment to me, I think it was 2 nights ago, that can't believe how fast we're booking for next year already. And so great news. But there are spots available throughout the entire season. And if you want to get
how do we get a hold of you?
Yeah, great thing. You can give her a call on the cell phone. It's 619-772-7570. You can also reach her through the website and take a look at the schedule. And she's on all the social media, so I suggest you go look up Cedro Sport Fishing, BCM, and take a look at the fishing for the last couple 3 weeks. She's still got pictures up posted on the site. So if you want to see what it's all about and how easy it is, and come on down and join the family and have a great time, reach out to her. You won't be disappointed.
Jeff, a great report as always. Glad your trip went so good. Huge variety. We'll look forward to talking to you next week.
You guys have a great weekend.
Thanks, buddy.
Right. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate that. Hey, while we're waiting for Marcos, that guy on the radio over at C4 Sport Fishing, let's jump back on the phones, Rick. They're packed up. They want to talk to James.
That sounds good to me. How about we talk to Tommy? He's calling us from San Diego this morning. Hi, Tommy. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning, guys. How we doing?
Oh, that's Tommy P. Good morning, Tommy.
Tommy P here. Yeah, Ricky, you're the guy I wanted to say hello to first. How's things going with Dallas?
Everything's good, buddy. Dal's in her, she's grinding, very busy. She's got her final few weeks of nursing school, final few weeks until the baby number 2 gets here. We got 6 more weeks to go. So everything's good, buddy. She's happy and healthy and working her butt off.
Good for you. Hey, this lithium battery thing, it is a phenomenon, and I own one already, and I'm looking for a cranking battery, James. I certainly don't need a 180 amp hour cranking battery. The one I'm looking for is like a 60 hour, and it still delivers like 1,000 cold cranking amps. I can't imagine what the 180 hour delivers, but does Norsk make one that's smaller than the 180 amp hour?
Currently, we have the 180 amp hour, but we're... You guys got me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, we have smaller starting batteries coming early in 2024. 2 versions. One will be about 120 amp hour, Group 31 case, and then we're going to have a smaller in a Group 27 case. That'll be right at that 70 amp hour capacity that you're looking for.
And why do you need a smaller amp hour battery, James?
Well, I mean, think of a flats boat, right? Weight
engines.
is such a premium. No electronics. Think about or in your neighborhood, an older Yanmar diesel that needs a lot of cold cranking amps to turn over, but it doesn't actually need any capacity to keep running, right? You literally need the battery to shut off the diesel to stop it, but it doesn't draw any current while running. So in that scenario, if really all you're looking to do is start a motor and you're not going to have any attached accessories to it, and the motor just doesn't need any current to run itself, a small starting battery makes a ton of sense, right? I mean, there's no point in tying up a big battery with a bunch of capacity in a part of the hull where you know you'll never use it. So there are multiple scenarios where these smaller starting batteries make a ton of sense.
Yeah, I get it. Hey, Tommy, thanks for the good question. Thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. And so that'll come in early 2024.
Yes, sir.
All right, great. Hey, great question from Corey in Escondido. He says, good morning, guys. Such an interesting show today. Thanks for bringing us information. My question is about performance of these batteries in extreme temperatures, both hot and cold. Does temperature affect performance?
I had a similar text on mine, too.
This is a great question. So lithium performs very well in temperature extremes. So I'm in Minnesota, right? And our most popular battery here is a battery that it's heated. And the reason that battery is so popular in Minnesota is, of course, the temperatures get really cold, and lithium batteries will discharge. They will power devices. They'll start motors, they'll run trolling motors at incredibly cold temperatures. I mean, typically the last couple trips of the year that I make in my boat, I'm breaking ice. And great fishing. That's the only reason you go out and do it, right? If the fish weren't biting, nobody'd do it. But that's some of the best fishing of the year. These lithium batteries will power devices at temperatures where no human being would be in a boat. 20 below zero, no problem.
Jeez.
The Achilles heel for lithium is that they will not take a charge below 32 degrees unless you have a really cool heating system like the Norsk batteries have, where what we do is we intercept charge coming from a charger, and we use that current to power two heat pads, top and bottom of the battery cells. And then we've got temperature probes that record the temperature and then the increase in temperature. So we know when that current can be flipped over and directed to the cells, and it's all automatic. So on the cold end, yes, there are some limitations to lithium. Companies like Norsk have really kind of made their name by offering solutions on the cold end. And then on the top end, the hot end, the BMS will deliver current, I believe, up to 140 degrees. So before the battery gives out, all human beings would give out. They'd at least go. Yeah, they'd at least go find shade.
Well, great info. I mean, we had several text questions. I keep my boat at Havasu. I keep my boat at 29 Palms. I keep my bass boat stored in this desert area, and sometimes it does reach 120 degrees. What's my risk factors? And
so the heat is not so much; it's more the cold.
140 degrees, I'm not fishing in that. I mean, that is an incredibly warm environment. Now, but you have to keep in mind that engine compartments get pretty darn hot sometimes.
Right.
So there could be a top-end consideration where, if your engine compartment's that hot, man, you probably need to ventilate or do something, because there's a lot of components that are suffering at that point.
Sure.
But you are correct. I mean,
I'm curious, James, in Minnesota where you are, what are you fishing for, and what are the highs and low temperatures where you fish? Just give us an example.
So So in the boat, I mean, it's really common for guys like me to be out on the water in November. Water temperatures are, you're just above freezing. Every wave freezes on the side of the boat. The lines from your rods are freezing. If you're casting, you have to have multiple rods because you will literally accumulate so much ice on the rod you can't use it anymore, so you have to put it down and grab another one. But what we're fishing for is, giant muskie. That's the best time of the year to catch a 40, 50-pound muskie or really big walleye, 10, 12, 13, 14-pound walleye, and that's often after the sun goes down, so it's at night to make it even a little bit more miserable. But it's the best time of year to really target some of the trophy species in the Midwest. So we're always looking for ways to, keep the harbor open, and, guys will actually bring chainsaws or they'll chip with spud bars and knock the ice out and go fishing.
Wow. Hardcore, man. I like it.
And that's where the Norsk Lithium monitoring system with the heated battery, you got to have it, right?
If you're going to run, there's nothing that drives more sales for our company than a springtime bass or walleye tournament where the overnight temperatures drop to 15 below zero. We get calls from pros it's just sinister. All these pros, they're running lithium batteries. They understand the performance benefits. But, if you're a bass guy that comes from, down south, you probably haven't encountered a scenario where your lithium batteries won't charge because of temperature. They get done with their pre-fish, they roll up to the hotel, they plug their boat in, and the really insidious thing is the charger looks like it's charging, but the BMS is stopping the current. So they get up in the morning, it's cold, it's miserable, they get out of bed, they're ready to go hit the water, no charge. So that heated system that we've integrated into our batteries, it's foolproof. You don't need to do anything. Plug it in, the computer takes care of the rest. You can monitor the charge process. Park your boat near the hotel room you're staying in. You can monitor it right from your hotel room.
On your app.
Then you know that, hey, my batteries that wouldn't charge if I had this system are going to be fully charged, ready to go. And I think the average cost increase on one of our batteries is $50.
Wow.
So it's a $50 upgrade. And it guarantees if you're using them in really, cold conditions, it's never going to be an issue.
There you go.
I'm out if it's 15 degrees below 70. So I don't know. I don't know if I can handle 15 below.
Needless to say, we're pretty soft out here on the West Coast.
No doubt about it. Hey, let's continue on with our catch report. We got Marcos from C4 Sport Fishing standing by. What's up, Marcos?
Oh, I am wearing my hoodie in the 65-degree weather, so yeah, I'm right there on board with you. Yes, inside and air conditioning.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm fully on board with that, being soft when it comes to the weather, absolutely.
Yeah.
But beyond that, the weather right now is actually great out there, and the fishing goes along well with that. A nice mix of fish all across the board. Half-day trip, catching calico bass, sand bass, whitefish, sheephead, sculpin. The New Seaforth actually had a nice white sea bass yesterday afternoon. They had a 40 to 50-pounder. Well, it looks like probably in the mid-40s there, which is a nice little surprise there for those guys there. Hopefully we see some more of those. But even beyond that, like I said, a nice mix of calico bass, sand bass, and some of those bottom fish. And remember, a few weeks ago that the bottom fish rules changed, where they changed the depth there. But we can still catch them, just a little bit different situation there. The full-day trips, very good fishing on there. Nice mix of bluefin, yellowfin. Yesterday, Dorado. San Diego, 29 anglers, 50 yellowfin, 100 Dorado, 2 yellowtail. Sea-Watch, 21 anglers, 1 bluefin, 9 yellowfin, 49 Dorado, and 7 yellowtail. That's really good fishing for a full-day trip there. Yeah, it's kind of hard to complain about that on the full-day trip. Those overnights, again, lots of bluefin, some Dorado in the mix, yellowtail. Those bluefin anywhere from 20 on the lower end, seeing some 100-pounders in the mix there. So great fishing to go along with that great weather. And getting into the middle of October here, it doesn't look like it's really slowing down. Maybe changing a little bit, but not. It's a lateral change, not getting better or worse. It's just great fishing all around. So check the website, seaforthlanding.com. Have our full schedule up there for those half days, the full days, the 1 day, day and a half. Got some longer trips mixed in there. can see the full schedule up there. You can make reservations online. And always give us a call at the office, 619-224-3383. More than happy to answer any questions you have, get you on a trip, and got lots of options right now, so I'd love to get you guys out there fishing.
Marcos, a killer report, as always, no surprise. Great job, great fishing still going on at Seaforth. One more time, shoot us a number if somebody wants to call you, make a reservation.
619-224-3383 if you want to talk to someone. If you just want to go online and do it yourself or check out the schedule, seaforthlanding.com. Get you on the boat either way and get you out there fishing. And so you got lots of options here depending on what you want to do.
Awesome job, Marcos. Appreciate it very much. We'll talk to you next week.
We'll talk to you then, guys.
Thanks, buddy. Hey, that's going to wrap up our catch report today. I want to remind you, it's time for tuna in SoCal, as you heard from Marcos' report. And if you're not using Gamakatsu hooks, you're missing bites. That Nautilus circle hook comes in sizes as small as a number 4 and all the way up to a 6-0. And for the big fish, the Nautilus HD is a great choice. It's tough enough with the right gauge size wire, but not oversized to slow your bait down. Both come in ringed or non-ringed. You can see them at your local dealer or check gamakatsu.com. When we come back, we have another full big section of your phone calls. We got more catch reports, more great information with James, and a lot more of your texts as well. You stay tuned. It's us in the Let's Talk Hookup on the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
If you're into saltwater fishing, listen to this. Saturday, November 4th, it's Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. Hi, this is Doug Kern. We are pulling out all the stops on this one. Over 20 manufacturers reps like Shimano and Power Pro. Check it out. All the Shimano and Power Pro product we have, like the new Talica 12 and 16A series. Backed by popular demand, the Shimano Tranks Casting Contest. Cast a Shimano Tranks 500 and Shimano Terramar 90H rod and show your surface iron casting skill. You'll see Shimano Terramar is the perfect rod to handle tough fish. The secret is TC4 blank construction. Match your Shimano Terramar rod with a Shimano Tranks 500 reel. Shimano's X-Ship and HEG technologies in the Shimano Tranks combine to provide the massive cranking power with a smooth and effortless retrieve. It's our biggest sale of the year, Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing. Unbelievable pricing on tackle, clothing, and accessories. Saturday, November 4th.
Hey, we're so lucky here in San Diego. We have fantastic weather and great fishing. We also have 3 great shops to take care of anglers. Hi, this is Ben, and you will see me at my dad's shop, Dana Landing in Mission Bay. We call it the one-stop shop for a great day in the water because it truly is. Food, bait, tackle, beverages, and more. Our tackle shop, headed by Johnny, is certainly one of the best. We have you covered from bay bass to big tuna. Plus, we have Doug, one of the finest reel repair guys around. For freshwater tackle, nothing beats East County Bait and Tackle. Gene and the guys have the best rod and reels, the hottest lures, and live bait. Our newest shop is Lemon Grove Bait and Tackle, growing their stock of both fresh and saltwater tackle right in the heart of Lemon Grove. ECBT is at the end of the 67 freeway on Mapleview and Lakeside. Lemon Grove Bait and Tackle, 94 to Broadway in Lemon Grove, and Dana Landing is next to the Dana Lawn Tramp in Mission Bay. Check danalanding.com for more details.
There are plenty of boat slips and marinas in San Diego, but there's only one Kona Kai. It's not just a place to park your boat. It's a way of life here in America's finest city. The Kona Kai Resort Spa and Marina has multiple swimming pools and a private beach, waterfront restaurants, and award-winning spa, most of which is included for marina tenants. Check resortkonakai.com for more information. The Kona Kai Resort, much more than just a place to park your boat. Great fishing is what Seaforth Sports Fishing in Mission Bay is all about. With free parking and fully stocked tackle shop, Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Apollo, Outer Limits, Elgato Doe, Pride, Polaris Supreme, Tribute, Pacifica, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth Sea Watch and San Diego offer the finest half and full day trips available. Seaforth Sport Fishing. For charters or schedule, check seaforthlanding.com. Run by fishermen for fishermen in Mission Bay.
I can't wait to spend some quality time with my son fishing this year, teaching him about casting, how to choose bait, set the hook, and how to be safe on the water by always wearing a life jacket. Save the ones you love. A message from California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Man, having a great time here this morning talking Norsk lithium batteries. This has been so killer.
James, you've been fantastic this morning. We appreciate your time with us, too, and appreciate what Norsk does, too. And I have a great text here from Steve Bermudez in L.A. He says, what type of warranty does the company offer with its batteries in case of failure? Which is a very good question.
It's a very good question. It's probably one of the most important ones, right?
Yeah.
So it's a 10-year warranty. No questions asked, 3-year replacement, and then after that, it's a prorated warranty. So we got you covered.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, 10 years.
And I might add, too, you talked a little bit about it earlier in the show, is the support system at Norsk is pretty amazing. You guys don't just sell the battery, but you have a whole support system for installation, whatever. Like Benny was talking about it when he was on the show. He was talking about, I had this issue with something crossing, and I called them, and they walked me through everything and took care of everything. That's kind of for everybody, right? It's not just for your pro staff.
Well, and I appreciate you bringing that up. I mean, a great question. When these batteries go into complex installations, right? I mean, every boat's unique. Every, the electronics that they're powering, they're all unique to that boat. So we have to provide great customer service both before, after the sale. Everybody that works for me on our pro staff, on our customer service team, they're super knowledgeable anglers. They've rigged boats. They fished their brains out. They've owned, like me, a new boat every year since I was 20, right? So they've rigged. They understand the issues. They know how to help our customers. And we're always available. Give us a call. We're going to walk you through any issues or any questions you might have. I mean, my favorite calls to get are the calls where a guy's like, hey, I'm just researching. I'm trying to think this through, and, what can you tell me about this scenario? Or, how do I approach this type of installation? And the reason I like those calls so much, I mean, it's a great way for us to earn somebody's business.
Yeah.
But it's also a great way to weigh in on the front end to help somebody get it done right. And when I have the chance to, talk to a customer, I'll spend hours researching and kicking back information by email, very, very detailed. And when I do that, we never have any issues with those batteries. Zero. Because they get the right batteries, they get them in the right place, they're rigged correctly, and the customer just gets to go back, and they get to boat, they get to fish. They're not worrying about batteries anymore. And like I said earlier, that's always our goal. So anybody that has any questions, we encourage people. Shoot us an email. Give us a call.
Sold. I am sold on this. This is an upgrade I will be doing for my boat. This is fantastic.
Sure. So
we would
go ahead, James.
Oh, and then we have live chat built right into the app. So for iOS and for Android, if you're having any issues at all and you're sitting there in the boat scratching your head, just tap the live chat button, and you're going to get connected to the same group of people that no boats, no batteries, and they're going to be able to help you out. So when you become a Norsk customer, you've got a team of guys behind you. They're going to make sure that you're well taken care of.
My good friend Mark Wheeler from NCS Ford just put in a whole house bank of lithium batteries into his 62-foot boat. A lot of big boat guys here, diesel-powered boats and such like that, want to convert to lithium. I know that's kind of a new world for you guys, but you can help people with those questions too, right?
Absolutely. And the bigger the boats get, the bigger the boats get, the more technical they become. How to power or how to recharge a bank of lithium batteries off a diesel a motor that has an upgraded alternator. I mean, there's some considerations that need to be taken into account to make sure that the installation goes smoothly. I'm well versed in how to get that done right. I'll be happy to walk anybody that's putting a house bank of batteries into a 62-foot boat. I know that's probably an extreme scenario, but I mean that's not a small dollar installation. And so we'd be happy to talk to somebody and provide as much information as they could possibly need on the front end to make sure they know what they're getting into when they start that project. So at the end, it turns out perfectly.
I know we were talking about that with my boat, and you were telling me that we could replace 4 big batteries with 1 battery, and it would be more power than what I had. Correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, the depth of discharge, 100% depth of discharge, the voltage. I mean, this is something we haven't even talked about. I mean, one of the huge advantages in lithium is the discharge curve. When you start at 13.7 or 13.6 volts, and you start to power a device, it stays super flat. You don't see that tremendous drop off in voltage like you'll see with lead acid batteries. It basically stays flat, through 95% of the total available capacity. And that means everything that you're powering runs so much more efficiently. Your runtime is so much longer. Because what ends up happening as voltage drops, the only way for that device to keep running is for it to pull more amps. So voltage drops, amps increase, and you are accelerating the complete discharge of that battery. So lithium, just from kind of soup to nuts, the advantages they're many and unmistakable.
Wow.
Dig it.
All right.
Totally.
Well, hey, phones are packed. They're anxiously wanting to talk to James here.
How about next we talk to Rich, very patient caller, been hanging in since the beginning, calling us from up in Bradley this morning. What up, Rich? Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning. I've got a 1994 bass boat, and I just had the 175 horse Mercury rebuilt, and it's got the older charging system. And I'm running a 36 volt trolling motor, and part of that 36 volts is from my starting battery. And my strategy for replacing batteries has been, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and I'm usually changing them out one at a time. So I'm wondering, what strategies would I use if I wanted to take advantage of all the advantages of lithium? And on a side note, do you guys have a dealer network in California?
Good question.
Yeah,
I meant to get to that, but go ahead, James.
Yeah, so we've taken great steps to make sure that our starting battery complies with Mercury's warranty requirements for use of lithium batteries with our outboards. And our starting batteries comply with all the requirements. And if you look at the performance bulletin from Mercury, your motor would be covered, even though it's an older boat. That boat would be included under, the models they listed. That performance bulletin says all serial numbers. So it goes back quite a ways and covers a huge history of boats. So what I would recommend is I don't like the results typically when somebody is using power from one of their batteries to power their trolling motor to do anything else, to start a motor, to run a radio. I know you can tap into one of those batteries and grab 12 volts and power some devices. But the reason I'm so against that is when you spend money on batteries, you're really looking for the longest run time possible on your trolling motor. And if you have, say, 3 12-volt batteries powering that trolling motor, if you're pulling power from one, because the batteries are rigged in series, you've essentially pulled power from all 3. Because batteries do not balance when they're rigged in series. They will in parallel, but not in series. So if you pull 25% of capacity out of the battery that is used to start your outboard, you've essentially blocked that group of batteries' ability to use the full capacity in the other 2 batteries. So there's a compounding effect. So what I always advise people is get yourself 3 batteries to run that trolling motor, or go to a consolidated 36-volt lithium battery. And that's one of the really cool things about lithium. There's 24-volt batteries. There's 36-volt batteries. We offer them all. So you can replace all 3 of those batteries, run one 36-volt battery, power your trolling motor, and then get a starting battery for your outboard. 2 batteries.
How much does that
to run the whole show?
To run the whole show. How much is that 36-volt battery to replace the 3 weigh?
That one weighs right around 50 pounds. So you're getting rid of a lot of weight. You're saving a lot of space. The chargers, because it's a single bank charger now, they're very simple. They're very small. I mean, think of how would I even describe it? A big pop can. I mean, that's about how long they are, and maybe about as tall as a pack of cards turned lengthwise. So it's a small charger, very efficient. I get 10 amps at 36 volts to charge that trolling motor battery. And what's great about that is that battery is designated for nothing but your trolling motor. You're going to get all 60 amps, right? Because if you are borrowing power to start your outboard from one of those batteries, you are effectively reducing the total capacity. I mean, I assume the alternator is putting some of the current back into that battery. But if you have anything else connected to it, electronics or whatever, you end up with one battery that's kind of discharged, two batteries that are essentially full, and the whole series of batteries is reduced. The runtime is.
What about Yamaha outboards?
Yamaha does not yet recommend the use of lithium batteries with their outboards. I respect that. We have many boats using starting battery.
Right.
Lithium is being used with all the outboards now. Yamaha, in my experience, is very, very cautious. I respect that. They just want to make sure that, they're very proud of their charging system. They talk about the ability to deliver lots of amps at low RPMs. So they're very proud of it, and I think they're just kind of watching right now. They're going to see how this all shakes out.
Sure.
And I would expect soon that they're going to be putting out some specs. So there's compatibility stated because lithium batteries do work really well with all the outboard motors right now.
So they will work with Yamaha outboards.
Absolutely. The thing to keep in mind, the service or the owner's manuals say that they're not encouraged to use.
Right.
Do they work? Absolutely, they do.
Sure.
And if I'm going to spend $80,000 on a couple of big outboards hanging off the back of an offshore boat, that's probably going to weigh on my mind. I'm going to make choices that comply with the owner's manual.
Gotcha.
Yep. Well said.
Until which will happen soon.
For sure.
We hope.
Yeah. Well, there's thousands of boats out there right now running Yamaha outboards with the lithium batteries, and they work phenomenally well.
Yeah. So, dealer network. Let's talk about that. Mike Lum is your rep out here, who's an amazing guy. And what's your dealer network? I know you're just getting started here in California.
Yeah, I want this. How do I get it?
I want one. Where do I get it?
You guys ever heard of Anglers Marine?
Yeah, of course. Buddy.
How about that? Yeah. So Anglers Marine has a nice assortment of Norsk lithium batteries. Some of their tournament anglers running out of there are going to run the batteries this year. Trolling Motor Doctor, he's the original dealer in California. He's been very successful rigging boats, doing custom rigging jobs with Norsk lithium batteries. So we'll continue to add, but so far I feel like we've got some pretty nice accounts out there.
Yeah,
that's great.
For sure. And I know you've been talking to West Coast Marine, who's one of our sponsors here.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably jumping in there very, very soon. So it's gonna grow because these are the batteries that people are going to want. If you're going to buy a lithium battery, why not buy the one that's right for marine use? Right. That's the key. Is don't buy the cheap. Get something for your boat that's right, for sure.
All right, had a great text come through. It says, good morning, gentlemen. I have a bunch of lithium batteries that I run in my remote control boats, planes, and cars. They've always talked about with the smaller batteries being fire hazards in terms of charging. For those, I use a fire blanket and charging case. My question is about the safety when it comes to charging large batteries for my boat. I've seen the performance advantage, and I'm all over it. Want to keep things safe. Jason in Ocean Beach.
Right. I mean, and there's two things at play there. The chemistry used in marine batteries is lithium iron phosphate, LiFePO4. Very safe chemistry. It's not that you can't have issues, but I mean, it's a compromise between energy density and safety, and because marine, you're offshore, you're in a vulnerable place. The industry as a whole has really latched on to LiFePO4, lithium iron phosphate, as the chemistry to use, just because of the safety factor. And now on the charging side of things, that's where the BMS plays such a huge role. If you have a lithium battery pack with no battery management system, charging can be a little scary. And that's what you see with like the e-bikes and the scooters and the hoverboards.
Right.
I'm willing to tell a story here. I'm in the lithium battery business. I know a fair amount about lithium batteries.
I would agree with
and
that.
I almost, my daughter got a hoverboard for Christmas. And it's amazing the things you can do on one of these deals. If you're young, if you're my age, it's just a death trap. If you're young, it is such a cool toy. It came time to recharge it. I'm a typical guy. I grab the charger, I plug it into the hoverboard, and we go to sleep. Wake up the next morning, and oh my, this thing's hot. What's going on? Well, I do a little research, a.k.a. read the manual, and what it said was absolutely do not leave this battery connected to the charger because there's no BMS, right? So that is one of the vulnerable scenarios. But on the marine side, the BMS manages and handles all the charging. You can't get over voltage, the BMS shuts it down. You can't get over capacity, the BMS shuts it down. If there's something wrong with the voltage coming from the charger, BMS shuts it down. Combined with that choice of LiFePO4 chemistry, they're really, really very safe. So I have personally been involved in 2 boat fires related to batteries, and neither of them were lithium. I was part of a skiing deal as a younger man, and a lead acid battery exploded, and the boat burned right to the waterline. So this is one of those things where out of all the lithium exposure I have, I've never heard of a fire like that. And if you do a bunch of looking around online and you look at statistics around lithium fires versus like gasoline car fires, I mean, sure, there's a lot more gasoline cars out there, but as a percentage of 100,000 units sold for each, there's actually far fewer electric car fires than there are internal combustion engine fires. So it's actually, it gets all the press, because it's new. That's human nature. I mean, people get drawn to what's new and popular. But, I mean, I would say that these batteries are far more safe than the lead-acid batteries they replace, or just the, can of gas you got in your garage. I mean, there's places where we've got some vulnerabilities, but I would say lithium batteries in general, they're very, very safe now.
I'll give you an example. I bought a lesser expensive electric bike once, and I overcharged the battery, or I kept the battery charged plugged in. The battery was useless. I bought a better electric bicycle next time. It must have had a battery management system. I can leave it plugged in all the time, and it still works. So get the good stuff.
That's it, man. Life haven't taught us that already.
I wasted the money on that other bicycle because it was useless afterwards.
We say with fishing tackle the same thing. If you buy your last reel first, it costs you a whole lot less money to get there than it would be. You buy that Norsk, you're going to have it the whole time. Exactly. You're not going to be replacing and upgrading until you get there.
And you also sell Norsk direct through NorskLithium.com, right?
Sure we do. I mean, we would prefer to support our dealer network, but if there's nobody nearby, if there's no location where you can, get some of our batteries, yeah, absolutely. We do sell through our website, and would welcome the chance to, communicate with somebody that's looking to pick up a lithium battery, walk them through all the rigging, all the options, and make sure they get set up right the first time.
That's awesome, man. Hey, a great show. Can't believe how fast time is flying by. When we come back, we got more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way, including finding out who's going on board the San Diego. More Let's Talk Hookup with James when we return on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Back in 1979, my parents started Fast Lane Sailing Center. They lived in a VW van in the parking lot and sold catamaran sailboats. And over the years, the shop has evolved. They've sold everything from windsurfers to barbecues, paddleboards and trailers. Here's the point. For over 40 years, my parents, and eventually me, my brother Jared, and sister Ava, have been in the business of fun and making memories on the water with friends and family. If something's in the shop, it's a product we use, are passionate and knowledgeable about, and want to share with you. We encourage you to come down to our shop, Fast Lane Kayaking on Mission Bay, and check out our huge selection of Hobie Mirage kayaks, accessories, and more. And let's get you on the water, fishing with friends, enjoying the coast with your family, or exploring mountain lakes in solitude. In other words, having fun and making memories.
For your next fishing adventure, check Point Loma Sport Fishing. They offer half-day trips on the Daily Double and full-day trips on the Mission Bell every day. Perfect for novice or seasoned fishermen. Point Loma Sport Fishing also offers overnight to multi-day trips on the American Angler, Vagabond, Intrepid, Independence, Diu-Loan, T-Bird, Game Changer, and more. Visit PointLomaSportFishing.com where you can purchase tickets online. Want to go fishing? Point Loma Sport Fishing has you covered.
When it comes to fishing rods for saltwater, there's just one name you need to know, CalStar. Take, for example, the Graphiter series. It's a true graphite and fiberglass composite rod, the finest it's ever been built. And for anglers seeking traditional performance, durability, and quality at an affordable price, the CalStar West Coast series of rods and blanks are the ones for you. Their master craftsmen bring decades of rod building experience to every rod they make. So if you want your fishing rods to be truly state-of-the-art, I always recommend CalStar at fine tackle stores everywhere.
There are moments that change our perception of what is and isn't possible. Cosmic shifts where the stars align with the Earth to alter how we see the world. The release of King Tide is one of those moments. This is the crowning achievement of Costa's 40-year legacy on the water, the culmination of every innovation and lessons learned up until this point. Wins and losses and highs and lows have brought us here to stand witness to a legacy brought to life, to achieve the ultimate potential on the water. Costa King Tide, rule the water.
Saturday, November 4th is Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. Come see seminars by saltwater tackle experts, great deals on tackle from Shimano like Terramar rods with TC4 blank construction. Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing, Saturday, November 4th.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. An amazing show flew by us this morning. Been a busy time. Pete's doing the honors this morning of flipping the prize coin. Today we have a texter. Congratulations, Steve in L.A. You are going fishing on board the San Diego. You're going to have a great time, Steve.
You know, one thing, James, we never covered was electric reel batteries. Norsk makes them, right?
Yes, sir. We make a really good one. I've tested the Daiwa, the 1200, out on Lake Superior, the Tanacom 1200. 8-pound weights, 900 foot of water. We got a little orange 20.8 amp hour battery that I think weighs about 4 pounds.
Oh my!
And you could go up and down yo-yo all day long using that battery. So yeah, I've actually tested that. It's not easy to find a place with water that deep, but here in the Midwest we do have Lake Superior, and it's a heck of a body of water. So I've actually personally tested this, and it works great.
We'll be calling after the show about that.
Yeah.
That's something
might have them at Fisherman's Landing Tackle.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I want that for
all right.
sure.
There you go. Hey, James, if somebody wants more information on Norsk Lithium battery, what's the best deal?
NorskLithium.com. And the offer to just help anybody. I don't care if you don't even become my customer. If you got any kind of lithium battery questions, happy to help.
Like I said, we have
give us a
over
call.
100 texts and calls, so you're welcoming people to call you.
Yeah, call me. Send me an email. Any of those callers that we didn't get to, go to our website, click Contact Us, send us an email. I will take the time personally to, in detail, respond to every one of the emails that I receive as part of this radio interview.
Wow.
You're the man,
Thanks,
dude.
James.
That was great.
So awesome. So again, NorskLithium.com. Go to contact and shoot James an email, and he'll answer your questions. Thanks, James.
Absolutely
we got to do this again.
Yeah, this was great.
I'm such a fan of the community that you guys have built out there in California on the coast. I mean, it just feels like home. First time I've been a part of a radio program like this for this amount of time.
We appreciate it. Tomorrow, Captain Dave Ibrahim from the Tomahawk. Thanks, Christian. Thanks, Adam. See you tomorrow right here on Let's Talk Hookup, Southern California Sport Fishing Voice.